Welcome back to Later. We're here with Jason Isaacs from the fantastic movie, The Patriot. You were actually informing me of some pretty interesting stuff at the commercial break.
Oh, that's private. No, what?
That was private. But we were talking about the sort of pulse of the media was even present during the Revolutionary War.
Well, all these guys wrote their memoirs, you see. Cornwallis wrote his memoirs, and the guy I'm closely based on, Tolton, he wrote a book that was a bestseller. And then someone else brought out a book that said he was lying. He reissued his book with an extra chapter. Plus they had reporters on set. I mean, there were reports of their glorious victories or terrible defeats in the Times of London all the time. And so they had an eye to the media even then.
So they were there on the battlefield?
Yeah, they'd have reporters visiting the battlefield, definitely, yeah.
Unbelievable. And
which is why in the film you see that Cornwallis, is very concerned about his reputation back home, which is important. Whereas Tavington, he doesn't really have a future back home. His father died and he's got no money to go back to, and he's got to make a new world for himself out here. That's why he's got to win. And
the fact that his father died is something that you found out and put into the script.
Found it out on the internet. Amazingly, you can find out a lot of stuff about the 18th century on the internet. It's all there. Somebody's sitting somewhere scanning in 18th century documents.
And is it true that he was a rogue with the ladies, your character?
He boasted, his famous boast was that he had killed more men and slept with more women than anybody else in the war, and he didn't use the word slept.
Oh my goodness.
No.
Oh, oh.
They didn't put it all in the movie. There wasn't enough time.
Well, yeah, exactly. Now, in your next film, because you are quite the rogue in the... You're good-looking enough in the movie, too, have slept with lots of women. But in your next movie, you in Sweet November, correct?
Yeah.
With Charlize Theron
and
Keanu Reeves. You play...
Keanu's now graduated. He's just first names.
Keanu. He's Keanu. Okay. But you play a... Well, you play a...
I play a drag queen.
Yes.
I'm having trouble here.
Okay.
A drag queen. Don't be shy.
You play a softer type of man. You play a drag queen.
It's not a huge step from an upper-class British officer to a drag queen.
Oh, honey, you're not going to be able to come back.
Very complicated clothes. And,
very complicated clothes. Now, I have to ask you one question, because there had to have been... Now, when I get dressed for the show or for the day or whatever, there are definitely women in my back register that have influenced me that I could pull from, and I, say, oh, this or that. There have to be a few women that you used as sort of...
I did. I was thinking, I asked friends of mine who know more about it than I do, and I said I must go to some drag clubs and have a look at some drag queens.
It's always good to have friends who are drag queens, darling.
And they said, don't look at drag queens, look at who they look at the icons. So go back to the original stuff. So I was thinking about Hedy Lamarr and, modern ones like Posh Spice and early Cher is a big icon for drag queens. And I tried some of these looks out, and I was absolutely